First and foremost, the results have far exceeded my expectations in the last 6 months. And I say that because I have 9 clients who are in my Bravely Moving Forward program. And that's where I tend to focus on, and that's my signature program. That's where I feel where I want to move forward. So I'm really excited to have 9, and that has generated a fair amount of funds for that.
Just out of curiosity, just so the person can benefit from it, they're curious, what do you charge for that per person, or how much approximately do you think that generated?
Sure. So what I do is I charge $5,000 for the coaching program, and that is 20 weeks. So it's 5 months.
Okay, hello and welcome to this Fearless Coach Academy case study interview. Today, I have the pleasure of talking to Loretta. Loretta, it's so good to see you. Welcome to the call.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah, so I just want to start by sharing a little bit about your journey, of course, of where you were before we started in the Fearless Coach Academy, what you learned through it, and the results that you got. But before we do that, let's just take a moment to introduce you. So could you just share kind of your name, where you live, and a little bit about your business? Talk to us about the kind of clients that you coach and what you help them with.
Sure. So I'm Loretta, and I'm the founder of Bella Coaching Services, and located in the resort town along the beautiful shores of Lake Michigan in St. Joe, Michigan. Yep. So my downtown office, is 3 blocks from Lake Michigan, and I live about a mile from Lake Michigan. So it's really fun to be that close to the beach. Yeah. So what I do is I coach women manage their anxiety and or who experienced sexual abuse, overcome their fears so they can live a happy, purposeful life without pill popping or new age therapy.
Oh my gosh. Powerful, powerful service that you provide, right? When you think about this, Loretta, this is not surface level coaching. This is deep work. This is with clients that have, either you could say kind of mild anxiety to probably deep, significant anxiety. And then you mentioned women who suffer from sexual abuse. That's a very, very personal topic, a very private topic. And I just want to acknowledge you because not every one of our students and every one of your peers at Fearless Coach Academy does that kind of work. So I believe in what you're doing. And I just want to say thank you for following, trusting yourself and trusting me in this process.
Thank you. It's been a tough journey. And I think that's why I get this is my experiences myself. And once women realize that they're not out there by themselves, that they have somebody who's experienced those same concerns as anxiety and shame and guilt, that it's easier in a different way to trust somebody who's been through those.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. You get to share vulnerably. You get to take the lead. And we talk a lot about that. By you sharing your story courageously, it gives these other women permission. It, gives them permission to be open and vulnerable themselves. And when you go through any sort of trauma, it's easy to bury it and pretend like it never happened and ignore it. But you help bring that to the surface to heal the wounds that were created. So I really love what you're doing.
Indeed. And it's tough to take those Band-Aids off and dive deep into the wounds, but it's been a great avenue, or a great path that I feel compelled and called to follow.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's do this. I want to talk about our journey together.
Okay.
I want you to start before we even started working together. Okay. I know we got into a conversation and we had a business breakthrough call, and you felt compelled that it was the time for you to hire a mentor, and specifically something about you and I, we clicked. There was a resonation there. I'm curious, why did you decide to join Fearless Coach Academy, and what were you hoping to gain?
So the reason why I joined the Academy was twofold. Number one, I had followed you for quite some time on social media, and I felt like you and I shared the same values, the same vision of our belief system. So that's what really propelled me to pick up the phone or email you on my computer. Mm-hmm. And secondly, I was struggling with finding my ideal clients where I could have a desired proven system that would allow me to scale my business.
Got it. Okay. So you followed me for a while. There was an alignment in values. We connected. and you knew you needed support in creating more sustainability or more systems with actually bringing leads in and prospective clients in. Is that right?
Correct. I needed a step-by-step system. You do this, then you do this, and then you do this.
Yeah. So I love it. Awesome. So just, out of curiosity, when you think about that problem of not having that system, of not having a consistent way to generate leads or to enroll clients,
Mm-hmm.
what sort of impact did that have on you, both business-wise, financially, but also personally? How did that impact your relationships or your emotional life? What did that look like?
Well, before I met with you, before I had that system, oh, it was a hot mess. It was a mess. I felt like I was all over the board. And then I would read, well, try this from different entrepreneur groups that I belong to in social media platforms, and try this and try this. And then before I knew it, I was so scattered, I didn't even know if I was coming or going. And I have a sort of like a post-it, a visual post-it, and it was all in disarray. So I knew I needed some sort of organization and some sort of concrete system on where to start, what steps to do, and what it would look like when it was done.
Yeah, and Loretta, you are not alone there. I would imagine the person watching this, if they're considering working with me or working with another mentor, is in a similar place where they feel like they're not clear and they're lacking organization and they're pulled in all these different directions. And it's never been, right, a better time, in my opinion, a better time in history to launch a coaching business. And it's never been the more challenging at the same time, because there's so many people out there with webinars and telling you to do this shiny object and that shiny object and that shiny object to lead to that leads to those post-it notes being all over the place. So thank you for sharing that. That helps. When we got into conversation, when you decided to, you wanted to move forward, you knew the time commitment, you knew the investment. What were some of your fears or concerns? If you were to go back to that moment before you said yes to this, was there any fear or any concern financially, or, what was that like for you?
Well, of course, there's always a concern financially, because I already invested X amount of dollars in trying to find something that didn't work. And I felt like I was just throwing money away because it wasn't working. So bless my husband's heart, he was funneling the business. And I wanted to be financially independent so I could do my share and help pay off a lot of our debt. So together we made the decision, this is what we're going to do, because we really looked at what your program is like and the outcome of it, and what we do in the beginning and the end, and what that looks like. So to us, it was worth the funds to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I love that you and your husband have that relationship to where you got to be on the same page, right? You got to look at it together. And on watching this, I think it's important to know that you may be in that situation, whether it's your husband or your wife or your partner or the people that you're talking to, right? As you're growing a coaching business, and you experience this, Loretta, with your clients, they may need to talk to their partner or their husband or their significant other, right? So to be able to communicate and connect in that way so that it's the best decision moving forward. So thank you for sharing that. So let's talk about, what were some of the, 1, 2, or 3 things that you learned? What were the biggest things that you learned through the Fearless Coach Academy program that really helped you, either got you unstuck or created momentum or got you the leads or the clients you wanted?
So one of the greatest things that I learned from this program and our time together is that my desire to grow and help other women was bigger than my fear. So I had a fear of falling flat on my face and what if this didn't work? But that desire to help these overcame the fear of doing that. The second thing that I learned.
Can I pause you for a moment? That's
huge.
So there's a lot of people watching this that are probably thinking, listen, I just want that strategy. Just give me the strategy on how to generate leads, or just give me the strategy on how to get clients. And the strategy is important, but it's not everything. What's really important is the psychology and the mindset, right? So I just want to acknowledge you because you had the self-awareness, Loretta, of noticing that there's some real fear there. There's some real resistance of like, what if this doesn't work? And then you found that your commitment and your desire to serve is what became greater than the fear. A lot of people, and for you watching this right now, you may think, oh, I'm just going to wait for my fear to go away and then I'll launch my coaching business. or then I'll take that next big step. That fear never goes away, does it, Loretta?
It never goes away.
It never goes away, right? I'm terrified all the time, literally every day. And yet, what you've built and what you've learned to build is the courage, is the commitment to say, you know what? I don't know exactly how this is going to turn out, but I'm going to do it. And some of those things turn out great. Some of those you fail, right? I don't think there's any sort of avoiding of failure. You are going to fail on this path over and over again, which you need to get on the other side, which is where the success is. So I just want to share that with the viewer of this, because yes, the strategies are important and I can teach those, but more important, a deeper level of transformation is overcoming the fears, the doubts, the limiting beliefs that are holding you back.
Indeed. Indeed. That's one of the things that I had to change my mind from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, that I am going to fall. But I do know how to pick myself up, dust myself off, and keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. So that was the first thing. What was the second thing you were about to share?
All right. So the second thing I would like to share is patience, and more patience with the technology element that comes of building and scaling my business. And I say that because I know we had a phone conversation early on, and I admit I was teary-eyed. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm so overwhelmed with all these this tech thing. How does this work? How does this work? Connecting all the links. It was so overwhelming. And you were so incredibly gracious to get on a call with me. And we went through a step-by-step plan and broke it down. In my world, we call it task analysis. And we broke it down step by step where it wasn't so overwhelming. And towards the end, funnels and technology became my friend. And if it wasn't for your support and your confidence, I would still be out there swimming, learning how to do all this.
Loretta, that's huge. Thank you for sharing that. To hear you say funnels and technology have become my friend literally makes my week. So that's something that I want the person watching this to take away, is that technology is absolutely something that you do need to become a student of if you're going to grow and scale your business. Do you need it if you just want to get a handful of clients and make a few $1,000s a month? You don't need a lot of this stuff. But if you want to grow, right, and scale, you absolutely will need that. And there's a learning curve to that, isn't there, Loretta? It wasn't.
It's a huge learning curve. Yeah.
Right. There's moments, like you said, you got teary-eyed, you got emotional, and you're not the only one, right? Your other peers in this group probably had those moments where they wanted to quit, they wanted to give up. I know I have. I've had moments where, I live in San Diego. I've wanted to take this laptop and throw it off my balcony into the ocean, right? Because it can be so frustrating. But the patience that you learned, and thank you for the acknowledgement, but I also want to acknowledge you for being patient with the process yourself, with me, and trusting that process and taking it step by step. Because if you just try to go create a webinar from scratch, that's a lot of work. But if you chunk that down into, let's start with this step one, then let's learn how to build the funnel, then let's learn how to connect that to the email. And one thing that you've also learned to do, which I think you've done really well with, is not only did you learn how to do it, but once you were able to, you started to delegate the implementation of some of it, didn't you? Weren't you
Correct.
able to leave it to somebody else?
Yeah. And that's more of a time factor. That's more of he can do it faster than I can do it. So he builds the skeletons for me, and then I go in and then I do the fun stuff. I do the content and the colors and what kind of words that I want to use that are enticing. Yeah.
Love that. Yeah. So knowing what you enjoy doing, being able to focus on that and delegate all the other stuff that needs to get done, but it may not be the highest, form of excitement for you, which is beautiful. So that's a huge, huge takeaway. That was number 2, which was patience. Was there a third or anything else that you want to share? Yeah.
Sure. So the third one that I learned, and I knew this before I even started this, but it even is more important when you work with a program, is that consistency is key for any type of change to take place. So I learned to be consistent with listening to each modular, taking notes, participating in the private Facebook group, attending the weekly mastermind classes. All of those helped create a plan to implement all the strategies that you graciously taught in each modular. So if I wasn't consistent, but I have 6 months to do this, that 6 months will be up before you know it. So I had a notebook, and I'm going to do this week, this week, and this week. And it doesn't always follow because you run into hiccups in the road, and you just want to throw the notebook away and just hang up. But you figure out a way to keep going.
That's huge. Yeah. So that consistency is everything. You know, a lot of students will join this and they will get super excited by the information, the
Yeah.
content that I teach. And I love teaching that, right? And I think you see that, Loretta.
Yeah.
And as valuable as I think the content is, it's not valuable at all if you don't implement it, if you don't apply it. You know, and so many of us are conditioned through schooling and through our education system just to learn, and consume. But if you're not implementing it, right, even when it's messy, even when it's uncomfortable, you're not going to get the results. So just what are some of the things that you've implemented and the things that you've learned? Like, I believe you've got, you know, an application funnel set up, a lead magnet funnel. Are those pieces in place?
Yes. So I do have my lead magnet. So I have two different lead magnets, one for anxiety and one for my Bravely Moving Forward program. And then I have the application funnel set up for each one. So I'm just in the process of, I just decided last week that I don't really like my website quite yet. So now that I have all these funnels in place, it makes more sense to me to kind of rearrange the website. So what I will have done is the slider, and then underneath each slider will have this PDF file that goes to this group of clients, and this PDF file goes over here to this group, so they're not confused. It's before they were confused. Which
Yes.
one do they go to? So
Yeah.
then each one, when they go there, then my webinar is set up a little bit differently than the typical webinar. So I do that where I send them, when I get their email address, if they want to participate in it, then I send it to them, and then they can listen to it on their own time, take their own notes in the privacy of their own home versus in a group. So that's webinar funnel is on the specific page of my website. So we start with a PDF file, the lead magnet, and then if they want it more, then they go to the website page, and then they'll be able to find that right there, and to join the Facebook page too.
Loretta, this is amazing. I want you to watch the recording of this, because
Oh,
if you were to watch this video of you 6 months ago, you wouldn't have the eyes to see how much you know now. Like, you wouldn't believe it was possible. Just the language of the terms that you're using, you didn't know any of this when you.
no,
So that is awesome. And I totally agree. And I want the person watching this to take this away. A website is important, right? Because it positions the value that you provide and it positions you as an expert. But what's more important is getting the funnel set up first, because
correct.
that's what's going to generate the leads. That's what's going to warm up the leads. And then your website is what people are going to go to really see, okay, who is Loretta? What's her experience and her expertise? All of that. And the funnels are what's going to get them on your email list and start nurturing and warming up that relationship. So really, really valuable.
What works best for my business and for my clients, potential clients, to start with the lead magnet and then get some nurturing emails before they go to the webinar. Mine is a little, like I said, is a little bit differently, set up differently, so I don't have hundreds of registrants or whatever, because it's so private, so they can listen to it in their own home. But I want, before they get to that, I feel like they really need to know me, that kind of thing. So it starts with a lead magnet and then circles around.
Yeah, and I make it similar in mine, right? So whenever I do enrollment calls with prospective clients, some of them only go through the lead magnet, and then if I do a quick check-in call with them, like a brainstorm call, what I do is I make it a required task for them to watch the webinar before we do the strategy session of the breakthrough call. And that's how you're going to be using it, which is beautiful. So I love that. So those are awesome things to learn. Now let's talk about results, okay? I think that's what the person watching this is most curious about. You know, what were your results? So when you think about the content that was taught, the modules, the calls that you were on, the private Facebook group, learning everything that you did and actually applying it and implementing it, what were some of the specific tangible results? Maybe number of clients you've enrolled or the income that you've generated since joining the program.
First and foremost, the results have far exceeded my expectations in the last 6 months. And I say that because I have 9 clients who are in my Bravely Moving Forward program. And that's where I tend to focus on, and that's my signature program. That's where I feel where I want to move forward. So that I'm really excited to have 9, and that has generated a fair amount of funds for that.
Just so the person can benefit from it, you know, they're curious, what do you charge for that per person, or how much approximately do you think that generated?
Sure. So what I do is I charge $5,000 for the coaching program, and that is 20 weeks. weeks. So it's 5 months, because it takes that long to dive deep into the wounds and to heal and to get rid of the shame and get rid of the guilt and get rid of that they feel dirty or is all my fault. So it takes that long to really have them feel comfortable with themselves. So I do that, and that's $5,000 if they pay me up front. If they make payments, it's $6,000.
Yeah.
So most of them do. All of them but 3 have paid up front.
Yeah.
So I just got my 9th one last week, so I'm really excited about that. So we do this all one-on-one. I might have 4 in my office and 5 on Zoom. So I like that. So I get the best of both worlds. I get in the office and I get on video. So I like that. And then the results are, because of all the technology part of it and all the funnels, that's where all of those results are coming from.
I love that. So you've got those funnels and the leads coming in that resulted in 9 clients. So let's just look at that from a numbers perspective. 9 clients at $5,000 a person. How much? That's
45,000.
45,000.
Yeah.
45 grand.
Yeah.
Loretta, and thank you for sharing that. I know you don't share this to brag, you share this simply to inspire. And so I just want to acknowledge you, because it takes courage to do this. It takes courage to just share a message out there regardless, let alone actually do the type of coaching that you do and have those critical, crucial conversations with your clients who have that level of pain and want to let go of that pain to experience the paradise on the other side. So 9 clients at $5 grand, $45,000 is an amazing result. So I'm really, really proud of you. Now, with just a couple minutes that we have left, who do you think would you recommend this program to? When you think about everything that you've learned, everything that you've benefited from this, who do you think is a fit? Who would you recommend it to, and what would you say to them?
So who I would recommend this program to is entrepreneurs who are struggling with finding clients and looking for a system that works. And instead of being all over the board and trying print marketing and trying Facebook ads and trying this and trying that, to really have a plan in place, which would be this program where you have a step-by-step. And also, I would recommend that because there's other rockstar entrepreneurs that you can connect with, and other like-minded entrepreneurs that share the same kind of hiccups in the road, and the same celebrations, and the same challenges, and the same wins, and the same lessons. So I would recommend that because of the camaraderie there. And what I think is just priceless with this program is, over the last 6 months, that I've developed such lifelong friendships with other rockstar entrepreneurs who are also part of this program. That's priceless. You can't put a dollar amount on that.
You can't. Yeah, and the people in this program are like, I literally feel, Loretta, like we are family. You know,
Indeed.
you unfortunately missed the Fearless Coach Intensive in
next
June,
time.
but next time you'll be at the next one for sure. And that's so amazing, because we get to be in each other's energy and meet each other and hug each other and like help each other, and it is awesome. So thank you so much again for trusting, most importantly, yourself. I know that this was a leap. I know that this was an investment for you of time, energy, and money. And that, you know, you had kind of not the best results with previous coaches that you've worked with. And so it was a leap of faith in working with me. And I just want to say that I acknowledge you for that. And I thank you. And I thank you for being a student and being growth-minded, right, instead of fixed-minded. Trusting the process. Trusting the process and being patient, and reaching out for support when you needed to. One of the best things that I've loved about helping you is that when you're stuck, you reach out and you tell me, and you say, hey, I need some help here. I've got a question, and then we can get you back into momentum. So thank you for this. If anyone wants to find out more about you, where should they go?
They should go to www.bellacoachingservices.com. And I'm pretty excited about that. The website will be done in 9 more days. Awesome. So it's still there, but it'll even be better in 9 more days.
Yeah, so by the time this is out there, you'll be able to go see Loretta there. So go to bellacoachingservices.com.
Yes.
And then for you watching this, if you found that you want results that Loretta just shared, if you found that you've been struggling in having a structure and a step-by-step plan for generating leads and enrolling clients, then let's have a quick conversation and let's just explore if or how I can help you. What I'd like to offer you watching this is to schedule a complimentary business breakthrough call with me. We'll hop on the phone. We'll start with just a quick 15-minute chat to work out if or how I can help you. And if I can help you, we'll get into a more detailed call and really map out a game plan for you building a six-figure coaching business. You can schedule that call at earn100kcoaching.com. So if you just go to www.earn100kcoaching.com, there's a short application, fill that out. Once you hit submit, you'll be directed to my calendar and we can book a call. Loretta, thank you again for taking the time to do this, and thank you for sharing your gifts with the world.